Hello everybody and welcome to the Q&A episode of my YouTube channel. I'm here today to answer some of your guys' greatest questions for me. Got them all right here in this notebook jotted down. I put a series of polls on my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Some of your questions I am here today to answer. So let's see how it goes. You'll find out a little bit about me, some of my opinions on sports, and some other things. So let's get started. Alright, so first question on the list here. What made you a Steelers fan? This is a pretty simple answer, but if you know me, there's always got to be a long, elaborate story to it. So, since the 1970s, my dad had always been a diehard Steelers fan. He was my single greatest influence in life, my best friend. We were super close. I miss him so much, and I really looked up to my dad. I would always root for the Steelers, but, I was a kid. I was into Star Wars, so December 10th, 2008 was the day that changed really my life forever. I sat down on the couch with him. I would always peek in on the Steelers games, but I kind of decided, you know what, let's sit this one through. I sat down right next to my dad, and we watched the Steelers take on the Dallas Cowboys. We were down 13-3, kicked a field goal. Ben Roethlisberger threw a touchdown to Heath Miller. We tied the game 13-13. Tony Romo and the Cowboys went down the field trying to score, trying to win the game. And of course, he throws an interception to Deshae Townsend, takes it to the house. We win the game 20-13, and it was just a magical season after that. I've never missed a Steeler game since. We went on to win the Super Bowl that season, and the Steelers are my greatest passion. So it's because of my dad and that day on December 10th, 2008. All right, next question. What's the difference between soccer and basketball? What's the difference? The difference is basketball is entertaining. I've never been into soccer. I'm sorry. All you soccer fans, please don't hate me. Okay, who are your top 5 favorite athletes of all time? Oh, this is so tough. I have so many. Steelers, Dodgers, Lakers, those are my teams. Let's see, I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. Definitely on my list. Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe. Got to get some Steelers in here. How about the two right behind me there? We have Jerome Bettis and Troy Polamalu. Those are probably my 2 favorite Steelers of all time. Great guys, great athletes. And, of course, I got to throw in Clayton Kershaw, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Jerome Bettis, Troy Polamalu, and Clayton Kershaw. That's my 5. Okay, this one's fun. What the hell is wrong with your voice? I get this question probably like 5 times a day, so I'm going to tell you all the story behind it. I was born with a rare precancerous condition on my vocal cords. I don't even know what it's called, something papillomatosis. I had over 36 surgeries on my vocal cords, all before the age of 3 or 5, I believe. A lot of them I don't remember, some of them I do. I was one of 6 kids in the world with this condition. When I used to cry as a baby, like no noise would come out. It was really weird, so my mom says. So I think a lot of the surgeries left some scar tissue. My dad had a naturally kind of raspy voice as well. So I think it's a combination of things. I don't know. I'm only 20. Maybe my voice will still change a little bit. Probably not. Definitely. I've definitely had a raspy voice for most of my life. So it's just how it is. Some ladies like it. Some people think I smoke 10 packs a day. That's definitely not the case. But I'm going to look into voice acting. I feel like if I did some voiceovers for some movies, that'd be pretty tight. So, yeah, my voice is pretty unique. I definitely can't sing very well, but I'm going to sing anyway. So I ain't going to listen to the haters. My voice is how it is. All right, next question. Would you ever date one of your subscribers? I don't think I'm really famous to the point where I get to pick and choose whether or not I date my subscribers. If I have a subscriber who's loyal, who's cute, you never know. Holla at me. All right, we get a question here. Who will win the NFC West? The NFC West features the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals. Cardinals are out of it. Rams don't have a chance at the division. They are fighting for a playoff spot. It really comes down to the Seahawks and Niners. They've both been phenomenal this year. They play each other one more time. I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. They've been probably the best team in football all year long. though you can never doubt Russell Wilson and his greatness out in Seattle. I'm going to go with the Niners to win the division, but the Seahawks are going to be one of the scariest wildcard teams we've seen in a long time. All right, another NFL divisional question. Who will win the NFC East? So that features the Giants and Redskins, who are god-awful. Comes down to the Cowboys and Eagles. And you know what? They're god-awful too. The Cowboys and Eagles have both had very disappointing seasons. The Eagles can't really seem to stay healthy. They lost to the Dolphins, for crying out loud. The Cowboys have been favorites in, I believe, 12 out of their 13 games, and they're below 500. So both are huge disappointments. I'll go with the Cowboys. It's a crapshoot, but Dallas will win that division, and they will be the 4th seed in the NFC. What are your top 3 favorite albums of 2019? Okay, this one's a tough one. I feel like 2019 hasn't really been a great year for music by any means. I'm into a lot of hip-hop and R&B. Let's see. I would probably go with AI Youngboy 2. Youngboy's one of my favorite up-and-coming rappers. I think that album was really good, had some hits. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 for sure. J. Cole's probably, I think he's the best rapper right now. It's just he doesn't really put out enough, but the Revenge of the Dreamers, he got a good list of his crew out there. They put out some great songs on that album. And then I think this one's number 3 for me, one of the most underrated albums of the year. I'm going to go with Wow That's Crazy by Wale. He had a lot of great features on that album. It's more of an R&B album. I really liked it. Had some Bryson Tiller features on there, some Jeremiah. It was pretty cold. You should check it out. Got some club vibes to it. So I'm going to go with Revenge of the Dreamers, AI Youngboy 2, and Wale's album from 2019. All right. Have you ever met any athletes? Yes, I've met plenty of pro athletes. I conveniently have this picture right here of me, my dad, and Jerome Bettis, the bus, who I listed as one of my 5 favorite athletes. My dad got us into his private office in Pittsburgh. I took a trip to Pittsburgh. I met plenty of Steelers there. Santonio Holmes, who was the Super Bowl MVP at the time. Willie Parker. Met a bunch of Steelers. Joey Porter lives here in my hometown of Bakersfield. Been to his house before. I used to go to his football camps, where I also met a lot of great Steelers and Cardinals. Troy Polamalu, Larry Fitzgerald. Who else? James Ferrier was out there. Casey Hampton. I've met Magic Johnson, actually. That was one of the greatest moments of my life right there. Meeting Magic Johnson, my dad's hero. One of my favorite athletes of all time, for sure. I've also met, let's see, a bunch of them. Chris Bosh. I've met Kurt Rambis. Swaggy P. A bunch of Lakers throughout the years, going to Laker games. And yeah, I've met a lot of athletes, so it's been one of the greatest blessings of my life for sure. Okay, are you any good at playing sports? I'm alright. I'm okay. I played football and basketball growing up. I wish I got into baseball. I feel like I would have been pretty good at baseball. But football, that's where I met some of my best friends, for sure. My youth football team, the Quakes. Shout out the Quakes. I had a great time playing football. And I wasn't very special. I played center like in the youth years. I used to be a chunky kid. And then I moved to defense in the first couple years of high school. I quit football to focus on basketball my junior and senior year. I ended up kind of just playing for fun basketball at that point. Me and my friends, we always go out in the backyard and hoop. I have my good days, I have my bad days, but my mid-range is cold for sure. I got a good mid-range game. I'm all right at basketball. And football was one of my greatest passions growing up, so I'm like a good B-level player. All right, here we have the easiest question of the day. Should the Cowboys coach be fired? Yes, Jason Garrett needs to get out of town ASAP. The Dallas Cowboys have way too much talent to have a losing record right now. They should probably be several games above 500. They have Dak Prescott, who's balling out this year, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper. Pretty good defensive talent. They've been pretty disappointing, really, and I'm surprised they don't have a better record. Jason Garrett should definitely be gone. I feel like if they had a good coach, they would be a contender right now in the NFL. Next question, do you miss high school? I I do and I don't. I mean, I really like reminiscing at all times. I like dating back to high school when, I definitely had my dad around. Um, a lot of good friendships for sure. People go off and do their own things. I totally get it. A lot of my closest friends I'm still tight with today. I do miss high school, but I'm happy with the direction that things are really going in, and I'm anxious to see how adulthood treats me. Okay, how do you feel about the 49ers? The San Francisco 49ers have been one of the best teams in the league this year. Their defense is nasty. They got a bunch of good players on defense. Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Richard Sherman, Fred Warner, a bunch of good defenders there. Their offense, they got kind of a high school offense, really. They run the ball with like a trio of running backs. None of them are really special, but they all got some good speed. Kyle Shanahan, I gotta say, is a great coach. Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid quarterback. I don't think he's great by any means. We'll find out what he's all about in the playoffs. I think the Niners have a good chance to make the Super Bowl, but they're kind of young right now. This team hasn't been there before, so we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. The San Francisco Niners are a good football team with a bright future. Okay, we've got a football question here. Who are the best route runners in the NFL? I think that Amari Cooper is running some of the best routes right now in the NFL. For Dallas, the leading passing attack in the league. Stephon Diggs is also a great route runner. I think Emmanuel Sanders is one of the most underrated receivers in the league. He's had a big impact on the 49ers thus far. He runs some great routes. There's a lot of guys, Michael Thomas, T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen. But the best route runner in the NFL, actually I lied, he's not in the NFL. Antonio Brown, AB. What the heck is wrong with him? AB is, I think, talented enough to go down as the greatest wide receiver of all time. I think he runs the best routes maybe ever. Antonio Brown is such a great route runner. He works hard at it. But he's got something going on up here, so he's not in the league. If he were playing, though, Antonio Brown's the best route runner in the league. For now, I'm going to go with Amari Cooper, Diggs, Sanders, those guys. Okay, what is your Super Bowl prediction? Everyone that you talk to right now will tell you that the Niners and Ravens are Super Bowl bound. They sure look like it. They are probably the two best teams right now. But the NFL playoffs, you never know what could happen. I think the Niners are very young. I'm not sold on the Ravens' defense and Lamar Jackson's passing ability. I feel like a lot of it's very schemed and scripted. I don't think Bill Belichick and the Patriots will fall for it twice and get swept by the Ravens. I'm going to go with some wild cards here. I'm going to say that the Saints make the Super Bowl out of the NFC. They really should have made it last year. They got robbed in that call against the Rams, the pass interference call that really changed the world. And out of the AFC, I'm going to say the Chiefs get hot late. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and them boys make the Super Bowl, face off against the Saints. I'm going to say the Saints win that one because the NFC is the better conference right now. The Saints have a better defense. And I'm going to say Chiefs-Saints will be your Super Bowl teams come February. Who is your favorite artist in any genre? Okay, for sure this would have to be Lil Wayne, Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., baby. I am a diehard Lil Wayne fan. Me and my boy Nate, we've listened to every single Lil Wayne album, mixtape. It's just crazy how good he is at delivering punchlines, his bars, his flow, his metaphors. He is an amazing rapper. I think he's the GOAT, honestly. You have some different greatest of all times, to be honest, in different areas. But just in terms of being like a punchline rapper, Lil Wayne's the guy. He's my favorite artist of all time. I got to shout out some of my other favorite artists in terms of hip-hop. You got, Kanye for sure, Jay-Z, Drake, 50, J. Cole, Big Sean are some of my favorites. I listened to a lot of Eminem as a kid. I like a lot of R&B artists too, Chris Brown, Usher, a lot of stuff from that era. mine is my favorite artist of any genre all time. Let's see, well, this question is stupid easy. Who is the best duo in the NBA? LeBron James and Anthony Davis are the best duo in the NBA. No, I mean, there are some good duos out there. Kawhi and Paul George, I guess. Harden and Westbrook are a great duo. You got some others, Giannis and Middleton, even though Middleton's not really an elite player. Embiid and Simmons. Luka and Kristaps, even though Kristaps has been very disappointing thus far. Luka Doncic is amazing. But LeBron and AD, they are the best team in the league right now. My Lakers have a 21-3 record as I film this. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are the only duo in the NBA to have both of them averaging over 25 points. Anthony Davis is a DPOY candidate. LeBron's leading the league in assists. They are amazing, and we are going to win the finals. Best duo in the league. Lakers the best team in the league, baby. Point blank, period. Okay, this one's interesting. Who are your favorite non-Lakers in the NBA? Well, I got to start this list off with former Lakers, D'Angelo Russell, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram. I watched those kids grow up, basically. I still think Lonzo Ball's got good potential. D'Angelo Russell's such a fun player to watch. Brandon Ingram is coming into his own, averaging over 25 this year thus far. As for players I really do like with no Laker ties, Russell Westbrook has always been one of my favorites. I get that he's having trouble shooting the ball, but I loved watching his MVP season. I've always rooted for him. I actually have a jersey of his. He's my only non-Laker jersey I have. Kyrie Irving's another good one. Damian Lillard. I like a lot of those saucy point guards. Who else? There's plenty. I've always liked Blake Griffin for sure. KD, Steph, Clay, as much as, we didn't like seeing them on the Warriors. I like them all as individual players. Luka Doncic, he's coming up. He's an MVP candidate right now in just his second year. Man, he is a good player. He's got it all. He can pass the ball. He can shoot. He's really crafty. I like crafty players like that. I like a lot of underrated guys too. Like, I guess Rondo's a Laker now, but I always like watching Rondo coming up. He's a great passer. Man, I could go on and on forever. Retired players now, Dirk and D Wade. But I'm going to say current players, some of my favorites. You got Luka Doncic, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, Kyrie, Blake Griffin, guys like that. Ooh, who are your top 5 QBs in the NFL? This one's tough. I already know I'm going to have some Patriots fans in my mentions. Tom Brady is not going to make the list, though I think he is the GOAT. He is not having a great season thus far. I think there are some other reasons for that. I don't think he has great weapons. This is some of the worst protection he's had in years. He is aging, so he's hard to rank. I'm going to start this list off with who I think is the best QB in the NFL. Russell Wilson. I think he's the guy. A lot of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady fans are going to be coming at me, but Russell Wilson is the best combination in the league of making plays, being able to move, making precision passes, and great decisions. He's been an MVP candidate. Lamar Jackson is probably the MVP right now, but he is also not going to make the list. I don't trust his throwing ability yet. Even though he's having a great season, we can definitely see people have great seasons a la Cam Newton and not remain a consistently great quarterback. So, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, number 2. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, number 3. He still makes great plays for the Packers. Number 4, Drew Brees. Some people will say he's too old. I still think he's phenomenal. Number 5's tough. I think there's been some disappointing quarterback play this year, if I'm being honest. But number 5, I'm going to go with someone who can throw the football, who can run, and make incredible plays on the move, and that's Deshaun Watson. He's amazing to watch. I'm going to go Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Deshaun Watson. Okay, and this is going to be my last question today. What is the best game you've ever watched, NFL or NBA? Man, this is a tough one. There have been so many great games. I'm going to throw out some honorable mentions. Watching the Patriots come back 28-3 was just crazy in the Super Bowl. Greatest Super Bowl of all time, hands down. Watching the Cavs 3-1 comeback, and then that epic Game 7. You all know it. Blocked by James. That was an exciting game. Ray Allen hitting the 3 over the Spurs. But I'm going to stick to my teams, and we've had plenty of entertaining, really gut-wrenching games as a Steeler and Laker fan that I've experienced. But the two best games, I'm going to do one of each. In the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. The greatest, maybe day of my life. Man, it was crazy. I'll never forget watching it with my dad. Us being up for most of the game, James Harrison getting a 100-yard pick six at halftime, and the Cardinals storming back in the second half. Larry Fitzgerald, one of my favorite receivers of all time, making incredible plays. He scored 2 touchdowns to give the Cardinals the lead, and then Big Ben goes down the field to his favorite target at the time, Santonio Holmes. And then with 35 seconds left, Holmes slot left, Washington outside left. Roethlisberger has time, throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes. I know the call, word for word. It was the best day ever. And then in the NBA, I would have to go with Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals between the Lakers and Celtics, where my Lakers defeat our arch rivals. We defeated them, and Ron Artest redeeming himself after the whole Malice in the Palace from years ago. He hit the big 3 to extend the Laker lead. Sasha Vujacic came in, flipping his pretty hair, hitting some free throws to close it out. Kobe Bryant playing incredible defense, scoring clutch buckets. Pau Gasol, I love that team. The Steelers and Lakers have given me a lot of emotional roller coaster moments throughout the years. But winning a Super Bowl and winning an NBA Finals is a feeling that can't be matched. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are your questions answered here on my channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy watching all of my videos, and stay subscribed. Tune into each video, like and comment down below. Feel free to ask more questions anytime. I can do a Q&A whenever you guys would like me to. Keep the questions coming, and I am here to answer them. I'm here for all sports content. I hope you guys have a great holiday season. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a blessed one.